Have you ever felt like you're studying for hours, only to realize you remember nothing, except the color of your highlighter and the fact that you're hungry? But what if I told you there's a secret to making your study sessions way more efficient? It's called the 80/20th principle. And no, it's not a math problem or a new diet plan. It's a life hack. And when I say it's a total game changer, I mean it. In this video, I'm gonna break down what the 80/20th principle is, how it actually works, and how you can use it to boost your grades without sacrificing your social life, your sanity, or your snack breaks. Let's dive in. What is the 80/20th principle? So, here's the deal. The 80/20th principle, also known as the Pareto principle, basically says 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. Translation? You're probably spending 5 hours doing things that barely help, and ignoring the small stuff that actually makes a big difference. Let's make this real with some examples. Studying. You might spend 6 hours rereading your textbook like it's your bedtime story, but only 1 hour testing yourself with flashcards or past papers. Guess what? That 1 hour of active recall is doing way more for your memory than all those sleepy hours of rereading. Assignments. You spend 80% of your time on the title page, choosing the font like you're designing a Vogue cover, and only 20% on your actual content. Trust me, your professor doesn't care if it's Times New Roman or Comic Sans. Okay, maybe don't use Comic Sans. Distractions. We all have that one productive friend who sets up a 3-hour study session and then spends 2.5 hours organizing their desk, updating their to-do list, and watching motivational reels on how to study. Hey, if this sounds like you, you're not alone. I did the same thing during finals week and ended up making a color-coded snack plan instead of a revision schedule. Personal anecdote. Back in college, I had this big exam coming up, psychology. Loads of theory. So, I did what any smart, desperate student would do. I highlighted everything in my textbook. Every single word. But guess what? I remembered none of it. Then, I switched gears. I asked myself, okay, what's the 20% of this material that's actually gonna be on the exam? I looked at past question papers, focused on key concepts, and did active recall like a man possessed. Result? I passed with flying colors, and still made it to pizza night with my friends. Efficiency over exhaustion, folks. What's the 80/20th rule in studying? The 80/20th principle says 80% of your exam results will likely come from 20% of what you study. So instead of trying to memorize everything, focus on the few key areas that actually give you the highest returns. Now let's apply this to each subject. 1. English, language subject. English exams usually have sections like grammar, reading comprehension, essay writing, etc. How to find the high-impact 20%? Go through previous papers. See which question types appear every year. Examples: formal letters, report writing, unseen passages. Identify common grammar topics like tenses, voice, and narration. For literature, skip memorizing the whole book. Focus on character analysis, key themes, plot summaries of important chapters. Apply 80/20ths like this. Spend 20% of your time mastering 3 to 4 essay report formats. They show up every year. Practice grammar rules that cover major marks. Around 10 to 15 marks from just 2 to 3 grammar areas. Read 2 to 3 years of comprehension passages. Focus on speed plus accuracy. Result: instead of reading the entire textbook 3 times, you study SMART patterns and focus on the most repeated, mark-fetching topics. 2. Maths, concept-based problem-solving subject. Maths is not about reading. It's about solving. The trap? Spending hours on super tough or rarely asked questions. How to find the high-impact 20%. Analyze which chapters carry the most weight. Examples: algebra, geometry, trigonometry. Identify problem types that repeat. Focus on core theorems and formulas. Apply 80/20ths like this. Don't solve every question from every chapter. Pick 3 to 4 chapters with the highest weightage. Practice standard problem types that always come in exams. Solve past papers and spot repetitive formats. Examples: quadratic equations, LCM, HCF, geometry proofs. Example: in the last 5 years, 80% of algebra questions came from just 3 areas: factorization, linear equations, word problems. So, practice those types 10 times, instead of wasting time on obscure problems that may never come. 3. History, theory-based memory subject. History is a big, scary book filled with dates, wars, kings, and revolutions. But the 80/20th rule can save you here too. How to find the high-impact 20%. Look at past exams. Spot recurring topics. Indian independence, French Revolution, World Wars. Focus on major causes, key events, outcomes. Skip minor detail overload. Apply 80/20ths like this. Pick 4 to 5 major events that appear every year. Learn their causes, main events, effects and impact. Use flashcards or timelines to remember sequences. Examples: key dates from 1857 revolt to 1947. For heavy chapters, write 5-point summaries. And revise just those before the exam. Example: instead of reading the full chapter on World War II, focus on what caused it, key players involved, major events, Pearl Harbor Day, effects of the war, bullet point dates and terms. That's your 20% with 80% value. Bonus tips for all subjects. Instead of this, rereading notes 5 times. Trying to memorize everything. Passive highlighting. Equal time on every topic. Long, unfocused study hours. Do this. Practice past papers. Spot question trends. Use active recall, quiz yourself. Prioritize high-weight chapters. Study with timed goals. Using the 80/20th rule doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're strategic. Studying smart is better than studying long. You don't have to be a bookworm. You just need to be a pattern detective. If you found this breakdown helpful, like this video and subscribe. For more smart study hacks and life upgrade tips, comment below and tell me which subject stresses you out the most and why. I might just make a video on how to 80/20ths that too.